I'm John Bailey, and I've been lucky enough to spend a lifetime writing, guiding and presenting shows on the great sport of fishing. In my previous angling adventures, along with some close mates, I've fished in the footsteps of legendary character Mr. Crabtree and followed in the sporting ideals of his creator, Bernard Venables. In this brand new series, we're taking that same ethos on all new angling quests in pursuit of our passion. We'll be visiting some of our favourite lakes and rivers, both home and abroad, widening our horizons by targeting plenty of wonderful and challenging fish, all in the company of true friends and the beautiful outdoor setting. So join me, the Pursuit team, and some new expert guests as we journey out on our latest angling adventures. This episode of Pursuit takes us to France in search of some monster carp. And our location, Puyravaud, is a venue that promises not to disappoint. There are two stunning lakes here with carp in excess of 50 pounds. I'll be learning from some expert guests just how to go after these fine specimens. Wow! Whilst Lester and the team will be trying to match these carp experts catch for catch in their pursuit of some French PBs.
Well done, Mark. Excellent.
Well, I am agog with excitement. It's our first day on this beautiful lake of yours. And you pointed out that on the bigger lake, the carp are spawning, so
yes.
Obviously the welfare of the fish is everything.
Fish this one, yeah.
And we've got Russ.
Yes.
Not Gus. Gus is the dog here.
That's right, yes.
Frank and Gary are going to fish the bottom.
Gary will be arriving a little bit later. So.
Now, I know Lester and Graham saw some fish moving in the middle of the lake, so they've bagged that swim.
Good spot.
Bait's gone in.
Yes, yeah, we had put some couple of kilos in last night, so yeah, should be hopefully get us off to a good start this morning.
And it is a completely stunning water.
Yeah, it's a nice spot.
And I love the sense of history you've got here, because this is a really ancient lake, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, these lakes, both the lakes date back to around 1750. They're on the Cassigny map, which is the map of all the old ancient waters in France. So, yeah, they go back a long way.
God, that lake lends it a real charm, doesn't it? You've got some wonderful, true French fish in here as well, haven't you?
Yes, we do. We've got fish from a couple of different French fish farmers. One local to us and one a little bit further away in the Brenne region of France. So very happy with the stocks that we've got in this lake now.
Let's go and get some monsters.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Beautiful place.
As Peter and I walk around this stunning lake, it seems that Frank is off to the perfect start.
And we've got one already.
We have, yeah. What a great start. Fantastic. Can't believe it.
I said we were going to get some fish today.
Yeah, it looked good, didn't it, early on? So, yeah, Frank's
in
the business.
Well done, son. Have you seen the fish yet, Frank?
No.
What sort of depth have we got down there under your rod tip?
So we've got here round about, this will probably in about 6 foot of water.
Right, so it's getting it off the bottom, isn't it? Oh, it's showing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't get better than this, does it?
No, it's beautiful. Yeah, I love this.
It's not giving up.
I'm not sure what sort of size he is as yet, but he's certainly putting up a good fight.
Wow. You want me to net it? Very nice. You've done it.
It's always nice to get that first
well
one.
Done, Frank.
Thanks very much, Pete.
Good, all the best. That's
so
good.
You do know what you're doing. Fabulous.
I read up on it the night before I came down.
You're a relieved man, I can
I am
tell.
very relieved, actually. Always good to get the first
Fabulous
one
start.
in the net.
Well, what a lovely, lovely start, Frank. Beautiful fish.
Fantastic.
Gorgeous fish. What sort of weight are we giving that?
Oh, no, I'd say upper 20.
This, yeah, I was thinking 26, 27 when it came to the net.
27, something on that
Beautiful,
line, I'd say.
beautiful fish. Wow. 3 happy men.
Very good. Very happy.
Fantastic.
Actually, make that 4 happy men on this glorious morning, as Russ has also caught his first fish of the day. It's another wonderful mirror weighing in the mid-20s, sure to grow much larger in this rich water. The guys obviously know what they're doing, so I decide to quiz Frank on the details of his rig.
It was nice to catch that fish. Now this is the rig I caught it on, and it's a rig I made myself. The hook length is a coated braid, and I've stripped back some of the coating, which makes the hook area hinged. And also the water's very coloured as well, so I've put a fluorescent piece of corn on the top of a boilie. So you've also got the visual aspect of it as well.
Will that be buoyant as well?
It's neutral buoyancy. It'll just sit up off the lake bed, but leave the hook sat on the lake
Gotcha.
bed, almost lifted. The idea of the rig is that the carp will see the bait, hopefully, or smell the bait, and take it in. And at some point, it'll sense that something's not quite right. So it'll attempt to eject the bait from its mouth. And as it ejects it, because I don't know if you can see.
Now this is the key, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, we've got a little ring that can slide up and down the hook, and as it ejects it, it allows the bait to be ejected, but the hook will stay in the mouth. And because it's hinged, because I've pulled some of the coating off, it will then drop into hopefully the bottom lip, and then as the fish then moves away, because we've got a fixed lead, the hook will then hopefully penetrate into the fish's mouth, and then as it senses something isn't quite right, it bolts off, and that's when you get the indication on the buzzers.
I love it. And the hook size is what, an 8?
That's a 7, that is.
Right. And micro barb, I see?
Just a very, very small barb on it, yes. I think with a micro barb, once it's in, it
stays in.
And it doesn't come out.
And I mean, a good angler is going to get that out without any problem at all.
Absolutely.
And if a fish does come astray, then the fish will get it out with no problem, won't it?
That's right, yeah.
And you've got just a bit of putty just to keep it down?
I like to keep the hook length pinned down to the lake bed as much as possible as well. You know, I've caught lots of carp in France over the years on this rig, and it's just simplicity itself. There's nothing overcomplicated about it.
Well, it's certainly worked for you, hasn't it?
Hopefully it'll work again.
I have no doubt. And it's not too bad a place to spend the day, is it? I can think of worse places.
No, it's a little piece of heaven, this place.
It is.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Completely serene, isn't it?
Time for me to go and find Lester, who is also a huge fan of these French carp lakes.
Well, this is nice, isn't it?
2 fish already.
The sun coming up over the trees.
It's going to be a glorious day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I love these lakes, and there is a history and a heritage to these lakes, and they do all feel that. I know they're commercial lakes. I know that, you know, we come out here and we book our 1 week or 2, but they do feel very old, and there's a timeless aspect to them. And when you walk into these places, they do feel like...
It is for me, just sitting here, it's a bit 1970s insofar as you're surrounded by forest, there's no road noise. It's almost like finding one of those old Norfolk State lakes 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Certainly for me, it gives an added dimension, which I personally completely love. I just think we've lost a lot of this in the UK. I can see why so many people adore coming out to France. It's not just, is it, the size of the fish?
Oh, he's into another fish.
Are we into a fish?
He's putting us to shame, isn't he?
I think we ought to go and investigate.
Let's go and do that.
There's not a jot of time for Frank to rest this morning, but at least now he's been joined by Gary, who's ready with the net.
Well, just when we were about to say nothing much is going to happen till evening, you've done it again.
Well, hopefully. It was a very slow take, and once I'd hooked it tore off.
Beautiful fish. Beautiful fish.
And it fought well initially, and then it seemed to swim towards me then.
That looks a beautiful fish.
It's giving a good account of itself now, though, so hopefully.
The first one did, of course, didn't it?
Yes, it did indeed.
Yeah, it stayed very deep. Very nice.
I don't think he's far off. Ooh, down he goes again.
Yeah, they're still going, aren't they? I mean, that's 10, 15 minutes, isn't it?
I always like to play them lightly anyway.
Well, you can always tighten the clutch, can't you? Very good. Very good. Oh, Frank, that is a wondrous fish.
Yeah, it's spawned out, isn't it?
Oh, wonderful. Look at the size of those eyes. What a fish. Beautiful, beautiful fish.
I've got to put it down.
You're getting older.
Back to the gym for you, mate. Smile.
No wonder Frank's arms are aching. This is a really decent fish.
That's over 48.
Yeah, 48 and a bit.
Do that again. Do it again.
Oh, you do it.
Okay.
Poor man's about to collapse.
Quickly.
49.
49.
49. Well, blimey.
Back you go.
Cracking fish. Let's get it back.
Well, after Frank's 49-pounder, I think it's about time the pursuit team got off the mark. And as luck would have it, that's exactly what happens.
I'm in, John.
Well, after 5 years of knowing Lester, I've actually seen him into a fish.
Outrageous behaviour.
It'll be interesting to know if he, see if he knows what he's doing.
Indeed. You can do the honours for me, can't you?
Yes, I can.
I think I've landed a few for you.
Yeah, I can manage to shake it off at the net.
A little ping there off the old dorsal.
I'm very impressed so far, the old master. Peter, it's not very deep there, is it?
It's
kicking
about
up some-
5.5, 6 foot.
Oh, right, okay, because
In the
it's
middle
kicking
there.
up silt, isn't it?
They do tend to dive down and
Yeah, yeah.
kick off
There
the
we go.
bottom.
They
Grab
seem
check.
to be fighting really hard
Yeah.
under the rod tip.
Good
these
scrap.
fish.
Yeah.
There's been a real flurry.
Yeah. It's got very close, hasn't it?
It's almost sundry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Perfect big eel weather.
Giving it a great
I
scrap.
think it's a good fish, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
I suppose anything over 8 will be your PB.
Oh, it's nice being heckled on camera.
It's all down to the magnificence of the rig.
Indeed.
Oh, nice fish.
Yeah.
Very nice fish.
Yeah, good fish. Scrap.
Yeah, it's pulling hard, isn't it? All of them seem to fight well under the rod tip like that.
Peter, he's giving a real good account of himself.
Yes, it's fairly typical actually. A lot of them come under the rod tip fairly easily.
I mean, he
and
kited,
then,
didn't he, out on a long line, but he really is.
Yeah, it's.
It's a good fish. I mean,
quite
I
a
think it
lot of
goes
them-
30, this, doesn't it, as well?
low
yeah.
30s, Peter, by the look of him.
This is looking like a reasonably good fish, I think.
I'm revising upwards.
Could be.
Lots of frying.
Yeah, there are. Yeah. When you think that
You know.
this has only been stocked for 18 months, it's surprising how much fry is in the lake. That's a
Come on,
nice
John.
Oh, he's a bigger fish than I thought. Yeah. Very nice, Lester.
Let's have a look. Here we go.
Very nice.
There we go. There we go. I've never had so many helpers.
That's a beaut.
Thank you, boys.
Oh,
Well, Puyravaud
oh,
welcome.
so badly behaved. Lovely fish. You produce some crackers.
Yeah, it's been a good morning, hasn't it?
It has
It's
been
a
a
really
good
good
Great
morning.
scrap as well.
Yeah, great scrap. Perfect.
Right,
Go on,
let's weigh it.
Okay, Peter.
There we go. Do you want it?
Yeah,
Hold it.
ready.
Got it.
34.
Okay.
Was it zeroed or?
Yes, it was. Well done. Well
Off
done.
the mark.
Excellent.
Good stuff.
Excellent.
Magnificent.
There she goes.
With Lester's fish safely returned, Graham has a go for his first fish of the day. But wouldn't you know it, Frank and Gary are the first to catch again, and it looks like another beauty. Another pristine mirror, weighing in at 37.5 pounds. Not bad at all. But Graham is in hot pursuit with his first fish. Perfect mirror for Graham as well, weighing in at 25 pounds. But back to the dream team though, as Frank and Gary land their fourth fish of the day. One of the numerous mid-20 pound carp in this truly fantastic water. While Frank takes a well-earned break, I decide to pick Gary's brains. After all, he is a former carp world record holder.
Just let the line sink for a while.
Well, Gary, it's a delight to meet you at last by this beautiful, beautiful place. Of course, a French carp icon, whether you like to admit it or not.
Yeah.
Tell me about the captures, please. Inspire me with French big fish tales.
Well, you know, myself and Frank and a few others, we've been coming to France for many years. Fished many different waters, public waters, commercial waters. And then we started fishing rainbow, which is obviously well renowned now. And I was fortunate enough to catch, you know, the biggest fish in the lake a couple of times.
And the weights?
The first time was 83.2, I think, and second time was 87.5.
Gary, how does it feel? I mean, it was a world record both times, and I mean, that must be sensational, but more than that, how does it feel deep down when you see a fish so immense? You must be beyond over the moon.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think everything you've ever learned or everything you ever know or you think you know about carp fishing, when you come to the bank or come back to the bank with a fish of that size in the landing net, goes out the window. You know, I couldn't remember the name of a tripod when I asked someone to get the tripod and things like that, and you know, it's just, everything's just a blur, and the thing that goes through your mind more than anything is, you know, how am I going to pick that up? Well, you don't properly, or I can't. Size of fish didn't really matter to me at the time, and nor does it. In actual fact, we didn't even know it was a world record. It was just amazing to catch something of that size. I know at the time some people said, you know, well, I was lucky. Well, in actual fact, well, you probably are lucky catching the biggest fish in the lake, like anybody is.
But you make your own luck.
But you may, I think in a way, I wouldn't say I deserved it, But
You deserved it more than anybody else.
well, more than a lot of people, I think. I
And
mean,
as a team, I love that emphasis on teamwork.
definitely a team. You could sometimes. I'm not saying you couldn't do it on your own, but it makes it a lot easier with two. You know, you always sit at Rainbow and work the swim out, and you know, you might have 3 rods each. And you know, when we got the same swim again, which was swim 19, we was reasonably confident, because that week we didn't only catch 8. You know, we caught 50s, a lot of 50s, some 40s.
Did you know there were 80s in?
Yeah, we knew there was big fish in there, but also big fish are creatures of habit. You know, so they always tend to. Well, I find that they get caught from similar places a lot of the time.
That's
So,
interesting in itself.
yeah. I always hear people say that, you know, French carp fishing's easy. Well, the majority of the commercial waters, yes, it is easier than back home, because the biomass of the fish is more, you know, and they do rely on our baits more. You know, when you've got a 6-acre lake with 200 fish in it and 30 fish over 40 pound, I mean, back home, that would be unbelievable, yeah. Yeah, so, you know, French carp aren't any easier to catch if stocked out at the same density and everything else. But, you know, because the public come and pay for the fishing, then you must stock it to the extent where hopefully everyone's going to catch fish.
Yeah. If you're new to the French carp scene, how should anglers new to all this approach it?
I think if you build up to it slowly, you know, a place like this, great. Yes, there's 50s in the lake. Yes, there's 40s, but there's a lot of high 20s, 30s.
And they're all magnificent.
They're all nice,
Yeah.
like you've seen this morning. They're all nice
I've been
fish.
blown away by these.
Yeah, French carp aren't any different to English carp. You know, I think if you take it as a holiday, a holiday with what you're doing, which is your passion.
Yeah.
A lot of carp anglers, including myself, are very, very passionate. You know, but if you take it as a holiday as well, then I don't think you'll go far wrong.
I think the bottom line, everything in fishing, just enjoy it, isn't it? Enjoy it for what it is and treasure every single fish.
I think so. You know, what's better than coming out on the bank and enjoying it?
You're not going to like this, but I've shaken hands with a carp god. Bless you, mate.
Thank you. No
Thank
problem
you.
at all. Thanks.
As the evening light draws closer, this venue becomes even more beautiful. And after a great first day on the lake, we're all treated to a fantastic barbecue dinner. Let's hope tomorrow is just as perfect.
Interesting, I mean, if you go back to Richard Walker and stillwater angling, he talks about fishing the bank that catches the first rays of the sun because the water warms up there. And yet, really, we're talking about the bank that stays darkest and coolest for longest. I suppose, really, what we're thinking about probably in September or October, when these French lakes begin to cool down, the Walker theory could hold water.
And I guess the Walker theory was about lakes that weren't pressured like, let's face it, lakes are nowadays. Richard Walker probably had the luxury of walking onto a lake that hadn't seen another carp angler.
I mean, can you imagine what it must have been like to have walked onto Redmire in the early 50s, to find this water that was beautiful, virtually unfished, completely unknown, and held endless fish, twice the size of the British record. I mean, it's like...
It's lottery win time, isn't it?
It must have been quite spectacular, mustn't it?
Yeah. I'm talking of sunburst, we've got a nice one coming through now.
Yeah, I was just, you get, don't you, just those little echoes when you're on a water as beautiful as this, with the mist and the sun bursting through the forest like that.
It is lovely, isn't it?
I have completely loved this place.
Yeah.
Completely loved it.
I leave Leicester to strategise and make my own way around to the other side of Kingfisher Lake, where Graham and Peter are into the very first fish of the day. With this weather and with these fish, we are truly being spoiled.
It really makes for unforgettable days.
Yeah. Ooh.
Plenty going it.
Not quite ready yet.
And you're not messing around with that fish. I mean, your rod is...
Yeah, I've got a bit of pressure on him.
Yeah. There we are. He's nearly done, I guess, isn't
Nearly
he?
done, yeah.
A good take?
Yeah, a couple of bleats and then went off like a train.
We haven't seen a common yet, Peter.
No, there are a number of commons in here. We've probably got about 15, 18 commons, up to about 40 pound in here. So yes, it's perhaps unusual. We haven't had one yet. Hopefully we'll get one today.
Oh, I've got to get this one in yet.
Yeah, we're not giving Graham due attention here. His first fish for 8 years, we're not taking it seriously.
Hello.
Right, there we are.
This might be the one. There we go.
Good man.
Thank you very much. Very pleased with that.
In the net.
Yeah. It's a little bit bigger
Graham,
than I
that's a lot
expected.
bigger than I thought.
Yes, it certainly is.
Yeah, it's beaut.
A real good scrap.
Stunning. The sun through the tail, Graham, is completely beautiful.
Oh yeah, beautiful tail. Could grow on to be quite a big fish, that, the size of the tail.
Beautiful, beautiful fish. Lovely, lovely fish. That is a lovely fish. Yeah, just over 24, edging to 20, it's 25 actually.
Happy with that?
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
While Graham puts his lovely mirror safely back into the water, I continue my stroll to find Frank and Gary into their first action of the day. But it's Gary with the rod bent this time.
Well, it seems it's a change to see Frank with a landing net instead of a rod in his hand.
Right,
yeah. I can't even begin to count how many fish you've had. What depth have you got there, Gary?
That's 6
About
foot here, I
6,
think, yeah. A little bit deeper by the sluice gate.
I'm amazed how much power they're showing at this stage in the fight.
Yeah. I mean, Frank, yours was 20 minutes like this yesterday, wasn't it? One of them.
It suggests it's healthy, there's a lot of oxygen in it.
Well, that's one of the reasons why they fight hard, isn't it?
I used to have great fights from carp in estate lakes because I think because they were so shallow, they had to go distance rather than depth.
Yeah,
they kite,
yeah. No.
And nobody can accuse this guy of not knowing how to play a fish, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's actually, you know, it's not really doing a lot, but it's staying.
It's just the weight of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's staying reasonably deep.
Always a good sign. I feel slightly sorry for Russ up there, who's been watching action now for 24 hours.
Yeah, well, I think as it gets hotter, this bottom end the fish certainly, you know, they get down here.
Ooh, it's a nice fish, I think. Well, we know it's going to be a nice fish.
Hold on.
Not quite yet, is it?
No, not really yet.
There we go.
No,
Not. Well, hats off to these fish.
Yeah. Right. We're getting close.
Yeah. Good one. Good one. Well done, mate. Fabulous.
Thank you very
Well
much.
done, Gary.
Took its time.
Beautiful looking fish. Gary.
Yeah, good condition.
Yeah.
So just very empty at the
Yeah,
back end
yeah.
after spawning.
Yeah.
You know, I think all these fish are probably 10–15% down in weight.
Look at that beautiful tail there.
Yeah. Probably why the fights are hard.
Yeah.
The big rudder.
Yeah. Oh, we're just...
Beautiful fish, beautiful water, beautiful day.
Yeah. Can't beat it.
Gorgeous. Absolutely perfect. Is it zeroed? Yeah.
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 Yeah, it probably is 20.
Oh no, no.
25?
24 and a half.
24 and a half.
24, 12.
No, 26. 20, 25. 25. 25 and a half.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Lester, it's been a fabulous trip, this, because, of course, we've caught a lot of fish, which is wonderful for the fishery. It's been wonderful for the film. And, of course, it's brilliant for you, for the rigs that we're testing and pioneering.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been able to field test all of the rigs, really. I mean, all the guys around the lake are catching fish on our prototype rigs. Ones we don't like, we'll discard. And the ones that we liked at the beginning, we're working with even more, and we'll fine-tune them through this trip and through the next few venues that we're fishing in France. And some of those lakes are harder, bigger fish, but no, I'm really happy with what we've done so far.
I mean, if we're not catching fish, we don't know if it's the water, the conditions, the bait, or the rigs, do we?
No, indeed. No.
You know, we're giving them a fair crack of the whip here, I think.
Well, we've not lost any fish.
No.
We're picking up fish on all of our rigs.
Yeah.
So that's all very, very positive. And then as we move into later in the summer, we're going to test some of the fine down versions of these rigs, really, aren't we? Because you're really keen to try some of those rigs.
Absolutely.
For the bream, the barb, or the tench.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there's a massive opportunity here for crossover.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. There we go. It's non-stop.
That was a left-hand rod into that corner, which has been so busy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been showing fish pretty much from the off, hasn't it?
It's actually surface, hasn't it, which is
Yeah.
not usual.
Banging around.
Well, I'm just looking.
Feels quite decent, John, actually.
Yeah, I'm just quietly surprised that he seems to be playing so much on the surface. But...
He's come up a lot quicker than the others, hasn't he?
Oh, nice fish, though.
Yeah.
It's been pointed out that rod is as old as me, and I love it. I love it.
Well, I don't think you can get these at all anymore. These are the original Jim Gibbonson Eclipse. They're very forgiving rods. I just love these. I prefer these through action rods because under the tip with these big fish, you just don't get hook balls. It's not huge. Now it's ploughing deep.
I think that's better than you're allowing yourself. Oh,
actually,
what a pretty fish. It's good fish. Yeah, yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah. Slightly angry fish.
Not ready yet.
Might just come straight towards
I'm not happy with that.
No, I'm not.
No. No. Very nicely coloured. It looks.
I think
that's a bit better.
Yeah, we're good.
If we just keep him coming.
Well netted, sir.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you very much. I'm getting used to this. Somebody bringing me my fish. Here's my gilly, Graham. Hi, Graham. Thank you very much.
We'll keep water going on this because it's very hot.
Yeah. Very clean.
I love the colours on this fish.
Let's get her up. Yeah, it is. 230.
I love the colour of that fish.
Great looking fish, John.
Very solid fish.
Yeah, she's a real chunk, yeah. Just one big...
You know,
she's poised, almost ready to go. You can just feel her. What have we got there then, John?
We have got a fraction over 36.
OK, you called that. Superb.
We're all having an amazing time at this stunning venue in France. But whilst Russ did catch a very pretty mirror weighing in the mid-20s yesterday morning, he's not had as much action as the others, mainly because he's fishing a tougher section of the lake. I caught up with him to see how he's approaching it.
I'm glad I've sort of
Well
caught
placed.
you because you're just about to re-rig and you've got all these options out.
That's right, yep.
Can you take me through them?
Yep, okay. The first rig we've got, basically using 15mm fluorescent pop-up boilie on top of a 20mm normal boilie. It's what we call basic snowman setup. So hopefully that should just sit off the bottom nicely. Bit of a visual attractant for the fish as well as the smell off the main boilie.
And I suppose with a bigger hook, the pop-up just allows it to go into the mouth that little bit more easily.
That's
I
right,
suppose,
yeah.
doesn't it?
It's a bigger hook, bit of more of a weight there to sink it, but hopefully they
Perfect.
counteract by the pop-up on the top. Number two, what we've got is 16mm fish meal pellet with a bit of fake corn on the front. Bring the changes again. Not quite sure what the fish are taking or whether they're being a bit fussy, so until I can find out what they really prefer. Once I found what they're preferring on the day, I'd probably change all 3 rods to the same bait and then carry on.
Yeah. And then the smaller boilie again with the corn.
But popped up with the corn as well, just again visual attractant. A smaller bait, just because they're big fish, they're not going to necessarily take a bigger bait.
Especially, I suppose, during the heat of the day, where they're probably a bit more picky and...
Absolutely, could be a bit fussy, so see what happens, you know, once we get them in the water.
Well, I'll be round with the net very shortly, I have no doubt.
I hope so. Do the honours for me.
Thank
Why
you.
not? Pleasure.
It's not long before this quiet spell is over and our pursuit camera team are running round the lake to see what Graham has on the end of his line.
Let's have a look at it then, Graham. It's getting very, very hot. So
I know, mate.
we don't want these fish out for very long, do we?
No, we don't.
Let's have a quick look at this fish then. Good work.
Back. Thank you very much.
Yep.
26.
26?
Yeah.
No.
I'm the 20 man, aren't I, on this trip?
Back around the lake again, this time for Peter's first fish.
Frank's taken on the role of netsman, hasn't he?
He has. The last 24 hours or so.
He started off just catching them all, and we banned him.
Nice markings towards the tail. Yeah.
I think he's there. Lovely.
Excellent. Well, that's nice.
Well done.
Thank you.
Great fish.
Yes,
Well done. Yeah.
That's it. And that's whisker under 28.
Good fish.
The camera scrambles again as it's another fish for Lester.
He's a scrapper.
It's a nice 20.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. Oh,
There we go. We're having a great day, aren't we?
fantastic.
Everyone's catching fish. Beautiful sunshine, fantastic food, great accommodation. What could you want?
More fish.
You're greedy.
Over my life, I've been massively fortunate because I've made fishing the driving force. And it's taken me to some of the most fabulous places on earth, believe me. And sometimes I leave these places with a real lump in my throat because I dread going home, and I've left dear friends down on the lake where we've been catching some of the most stupendous carp I've ever witnessed. And of course in this enchanting landscape which seeps history, it's the most wonderful place, and I could spend the summer here. And coming back to this wonderful old building where we've been shown so much hospitality over the last couple of days, it breaks my heart to go back to London now, but at least I know it's only 2 hours away and I can return whenever I want. Well, it might be time for me to leave, but the carp carry on feeding without me, especially on Frank and Gary's baits.
It's got to be a comment.
Come on, show me this fish. Do you know what? I think it's a mirror. The running's going on again now.
And that's after what, 15 minutes? It's a mirror, Peter.
Yes, our quest for a common goes on.
I didn't know this was called Quest for a Common. You didn't tell me that. That was really punching above her weight, wasn't she? Really gave you a scrap.
Yeah, it did.
Well done.
Been in the fight, Gary.
Yeah.
27,
12.
Another gorgeous, immaculate fish.
Very long fish.
Yeah, really got a lot of growing to do there, haven't they?
Yeah.
And a real fight, wasn't it? I mean, they've all scrapped, but that was a real long
Yeah.
crawler, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful fish.
Yeah. Let's get it back, it's very hot.
Yeah.
Good work. That was a mad half hour, mate, wasn't it?
It has been, yes. I was a bit surprised. The weather's getting warmer and warmer, and I wasn't sure we'd have some today. But
You say surprised, but it's been like this since we got here, from the off, hasn't it? We've caught fish literally from the first cast.
we have. We've been very fortunate, which is
But you
great.
say that, but you've also said this is fairly common.
Yeah, I mean, we have weeks where people catch 30, 40, 50 carp over 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So it can be quite busy. What we've done with Heron Lake is that's probably the easier of the two lakes to fish.
Sure. Not this week, obviously, because
no,
they've got other things on their mind.
Yeah, they have indeed. But as far as kingfisher, this particular lake, we want this to become more of a specimen water. So it's a little bit more difficult to fish. The biomass is a little bit lower in this lake, but the fish are growing very fast. You know, we're up to average weights of well in excess of 35 pounds. And then we've got accommodation that we get very good reports back from customers. Very nice. All with ensuite shower rooms, so everybody's got their own privacy. So it's
luxury fishing, isn't it?
It's lovely. Yeah, we're very proud of it. So yes, it seems to work.
You can say that again, Peter, and it looks like it's working for Russ again too. I guess the rig variations that he showed me earlier are doing the business.
Cheers. It's 40 something.
44.
44 pounds, huh?
44 pounds.
Your average is going up, isn't it?
It's going up indeed. I can't complain at that. What a visit to Puyravaud. What a week.
Right, let's get it back.
Okay.
What a fantastic mirror for Russ. And it's not long before he's back at it again.
So this would probably have been your PB a few hours ago, wouldn't it?
It would have been. Great fishing.
And a great scrap. But every single one of these fish fight, don't they?
They do
So
fight
hard.
hard.
Are you ready, sir?
Yep.
Okay. What do we have?
42.
42.
Thank you, sir. Cheers. Lovely
You're having
job.
a cracking day, aren't you?
Indeed. Very pleased.
I'm really pleased for Russ, as it's been something of a quieter trip for him compared to the others. But it just goes to show that good things come to those who wait. And in fact, Russ's patience soon gets the ultimate reward. Both Russ and Gary have fish on at the same time. It's a true team effort, as Frank helps Russ net a very serious looking fish indeed. At the same time, Graham is ready with the net for Gary. It's time to have a look.
Very nice, very pretty.
Yeah. New scales.
Yeah. Not the biggest fish in the lake, but certainly very pretty.
Very big paddle on it.
Yeah.
That.
They all have, isn't it?
Yeah, they really do, and they really fight, don't they? Good scraps, all of them.
And how about this fish? A real monster for Russ.
That's a bit bigger than 40, isn't
It's
it?
an enormous fish.
It's got to be nudging 50.
Superb fish.
It's got to be
Isn't
nudging
it?
50.
Yeah. Well, I think you need to show it to the camera. You've been working hard, and we're
I
getting a
have.
bit worried about you. You were the one that hadn't caught.
What a
and
reward.
I think you've just taken the biggest fish. What's the lake record?
I think it's either 52 or 54.
Wow, we're quite close. I think we're quite close, you know.
I think we're very close.
What a big fish.
A real warrior. Good scrap. I didn't get a chance
Indeed.
to get around. Yeah.
I can't complain at anything. Not with that.
You must be very chuffed.
I am chuffed. Superb effort from Gary and Frank, all thanks to them. It's a dream come true.
Real warrior. Let's weigh this fish, because
I would
I've
say
got...
best part of 50 pounds.
Yeah. Whoa. We're over 54.
54.
54 pounds.
Russ, well done. Congratulations.
Cheers, that's fantastic.
Which finger, guys?
Well done, mate.
Sorry, Piers.
Thank you. Cheers. Piers, on you.
What a superb
Yeah,
fish.
it is.
fantastic.
Superb.
Yeah, let's get her back.
It's always best to take pictures of bigger fish in the
I
water.
agree totally.
Fantastic fish.
For us, that is a fish of a lifetime, mate.
Thank you, that's brilliant.
And caught for cameras.
It's been most welcome. Glad I caught it for you.
Yeah, give her a kiss, Russ. Well done, Russ.
Much as I don't want to let you go, give somebody else the pleasure.
Yeah. Well done, Russ. Brilliant.
Yeah, well done, mate.